This playthrough is rated T for teen.
Back so soon. Everything went as intended then?
Yes, my lord. I made contact with one of his priests, and the Onyx Heart has been activated. The tower awaits you, my lord.
Well done. The time is nearly right, Sanhast. In less than 2 months, we will move the Onyx Tower, and Baldur's Gate shall be mine. And from there, it is only a matter of time.
Well, I've got a bone to pick with you. Greetings and salutations, viewers. Vauldemare back here with another episode of Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance 2. In the last episode, we finished Act 3 after getting on with the MacGuffins, but now Jarek of the Harpers and Carrick of the Zentarum are helping us to fight the Pale Knight, who's captured the heroes and wants to do what he wants with the Onyx Tower. But now, well, we could save for one, and they're going to help us too. They're a little bit of a help, so, sure, but the big thing is obviously people won't surround us. But another thing, now that it's chapter 4, we can now actually go back to Baldur's Gate. Yeah, because if you go to Act 4, it immediately takes you to the Battle of the Bone. But we could go back to the shop, and Bartley has some new stuff to sell. So just take a look at all the new stuff. Yeah, he's got grand most all equipment here, as you can see there. He's got some magical stuff. Warhammers, halberds. I don't need any of that stuff, but hey, if you need it. Then he's got full plate and everything like that. Let's see. I don't need that yet. Nothing I immediately need. But, wait, what did you say? But anyway, he's also got extra healing potions now, so they do more than the previous one, so that's nice. Also sells new rings and stuff like that, and I think he finally sells all the jewels at this point in the game. Yeah, see, every single jewel is available. So eventually I will do at the beginning of an episode where I go over...
gone with you were I younger. But alas, old merchants like me shouldn't be assaulting vampire lords in their black towers.
I thought he had new dialogue every once in a while, but he stopped talking to you at the beginning of things. Now he talks when you're in the shop, so I was trying to pay attention to see if he said anything new in between episodes. He probably did, but I didn't give him enough time to do that. So, but anyway, maybe next episode I'll go over...
For your success while you're gone, friend.
I'll go over the gems and what upgrading does, but yeah, I don't think I actually have anything I actually need to sell or do right now. Yeah, I already did that last episode. Oh, we probably should tell our former allies where, in the Purple Inn, where we're going, right? Just check on everyone, see if everyone's doing okay. By the way, no one has any new dialogue. The only reason I'm in here is because, hey, where did Dalla go off to? Do you know where she went?
Well met again, adventurer. I've heard little.
Nope. Okay, thanks for that. Huh. Where did she went off to? It's probably nothing important. Probably... just minor details. Probably went to the bathroom or something like that. So, anyway, let's go back to the Battle of the Bones, and get through. Act 4 is, I wouldn't say fast, but it goes by. I feel like Act 4 goes by really fast for some weird reason. I don't know, it doesn't seem as long as the previous chapters, to me personally, but do you just get lost, Jarek? Yeah, the AI is a little bit wonky for AI. Uh-oh, we got specters. Got ghouls. No, these are ghosts. I believe they're just specifically supposed to be ghosts. But ghosts in D&D are, some creature. Yeah, see, your allies will help you, kind of like multiplayer and stuff like that. So they can take the hits for you because they, as far as I'm aware of, Jarek and Karn can't die. So good idea to have them, like, basically get attacked first and then you go behind them or whatever if you want to kind of save your HP and everything like that. But anyway, ghosts are people who died in D&D some cruel way. Usually to beat a ghost, well, I mean, you can beat him the normal way. Well, you can smack them, sort of. The thing with ghosts, though, is that, at least depending on which version of D&D you play, usually you have to have a ghost touch weapon or some type of magic weapon to hit them, because otherwise they'll do either no damage or half damage, depending on which version you play. I don't even know how they have gold. Yeah, usually, like I said, some versions, if you don't have a ghost touch weapon, it's either like 50% chance to miss or something like that, so ow. Yeah, he's basically trying to drain my life. Where'd you guys go? Oh, you got stuck. Oh, yeah, they hit hard, by the way. Yeah, this area, man, this is why you need to start getting new equipment and everything like that. So I could switch to poison them, even though you can't actually poison the undead, so I don't know how that works, but whatever. But yeah, Karn usually will throw stuff and hit people with a sword. Jarek will just go into melee on him. So yeah, see how much damage those ghosts did. Although ghosts usually they have the ability to just they can just go through your armor. So all they have to do is hit your touch AC in most versions of D&D or other games to hit you. I think in 5th edition they just get advantage or something like that because they're ghosts. I don't remember. I don't use the ghosts too often, to tell you the truth. Yeah, ghosts can like, I wouldn't say teleport, but they can shift and get out to you, at least in this version anyway, so. Although I do like using shadows in D&D. Shadows are pretty heinous. They're, you know, basically shadows. They're just living shadows that that can hide in shadows, so they can sneak attack you, and if they hit you, they have a chance of stealing your strength score. So, depending on which version, it might be permanent. Other versions, you can just rest and get rid of it. But yeah, very, very dangerous. Most undead, usually of the ghost persuasion, are usually very dangerous. You know, ghosts, specters, shadows, stuff like that. Yeah, not so much in the way of actual bone, you know. Oh, I thought that was a monster there, but it was just Jarek reappearing, like, to... Because if you get so far away, the AI will you know, make sure to pop them back up. Yeah, unfortunately, since I have fire weapons, they're not very effective against these skeletons. Neither those poison, though, either, so... And no, unfortunately, no. No stunning these things, because they're all undead. Boo. Yeah, well. Yeah, some areas just don't work well with Viadra. Although if I had a mace or that mace of disruption, there would have been a small chance of me just straight up destroying them. That's something you give if you're playing as Alessia, though. Usually when I play Alessia, I give her just maces and stuff like that. Although you could give her other hand weapons if you really want to. Looks like Jarek's stuck. He's not helping me. Yeah, don't try to you know, base all your fights off of your AI companions, because yeah, like I said, the pathfinding for them is not great. They can sometimes get stuck, so you have to like run around and come back, and hopefully they respawn in a decent spot. And sometimes they won't even attack the enemies either. So, I mean, I appreciate the effort of giving them to us, but I think they almost assumed that you were just gonna play multiplayer, and you already have someone, and they're just there to kind of be there in spirit. And they don't even help us through the whole thing. They actually disappear after a while. I think it's when we get to the next area. It's either the next area or the area after that. They just don't follow you for whatever weird reason. I think they just forgot to program them to keep chasing after you. Either that or some story element they just forgot to mention. Because usually, like most games, usually the 4th act or ending act of a lot of games, especially the PS2 era, usually got rushed. It happened a lot, quite often, where for whatever reason, certain story elements kind of just get dropped, or, you know, how everything's so aggressively narrative in the early parts of the game, but then as soon as we get to the end, all of a sudden they just stop doing that. And you're like, what happened there? And I guess it just time constraints and all this other stuff, and they just forgot to you know, finish it off before they beat the game, you know, and all that, or completed the game. Well, quote-unquote completed. Yeah, so you guys can take all the hits. I'll just be over here robbing treasure. Just have to be careful, I guess. Just because of how much damage the ghosts do to you, so... Or there could be raids or something like that, but I think they're just ghosts. Ghosts, I don't believe them. They don't exist. Actually, I legitimately don't believe ghosts exist. If I was to believe ghosts exist, then if you died in some horrible manner, you'd be, you know, doomed for all eternity to haunt some place because of something bad that happened to you. And guess what, folks? Life is bad. Bad things happen to bad people like all the time, or good things. Bad things happen to good and bad people all the time. So if that was the case, wouldn't there be ghosts everywhere? You know, so I'm sorry. I think that's just people's figments of their imagination and just wanting to make logical sense of like, you know, when your house creaks in the middle of the night. If for those of you who have houses or maybe even your apartment or whatever, all that is if the wood is creaking, that's just the weather. It's just causing the wood to extend and slightly adjust, you know, and stuff like that. That's all it is. You know. Or if people say they see ghosts, it's usually because they're either got mental problems or they're drunk or they're tired, you know, which causes them to see things that aren't actually there. So I'm sorry, it's just that's the truth, folks. Ghosts don't exist. You can explain it all you want, but you can try to, but it's not true. You know, it's like those hackneyed ghost hunting shows, you know, where they try to make it like a ghost is there, and they do all these cheap tricks to make it seem like a specter is about. And I'm like, no, there isn't. Don't lie to people. Don't sell them snake oil. Come on. But yeah, people. I mean, I don't mind if people watch it because they know how bad it is, and they're just pretending. They're like pretending. You know, like if they legitimately believe ghosts exist, I think I have a problem with you. But if you're just pretending to enjoy it just for larks or how bad it is, that's different. Not as bad as these skeletons though. Take this and that thing. Whoa. Yeah, they're falling down pretty easily. As long as the ghosts don't appear, I'm fine. And yeah, I could be using stealth and all this other stuff, but just really it's better to use that stuff during extreme mode of anything. Extreme! I was just seeing what Carrick was saying. Fujiha or whatever. Fujiha. Keeps saying that every time he kept throwing his knives and whatnot. And we really are battling bones, aren't we? I wonder who all these people were. Were they fighters all at one point? Were they just simple merchants? You know, who knows? That's the thing about being undead and skeletons. Doesn't matter who you were in the real world, or real life, or the living world. As soon as you die, we all end up the same. Ow. Why do you hurt so bad, ghosts? Why? Yeah, luckily I'm not getting smacked too badly this time. I do need to get some better equipment, though. My armor is a little behind in terms of. That's why I'm getting hit so often. My AC is so low. Yeah. Yeah, I guess him throwing his flaming daggers at people requires a spell or something like that. It's still kind of weird that, you know, we do all this stuff to the Zentarum, and then all of a sudden he's just like, hey, let's join forces. I don't know, it just seems like, I feel like there was a scene missing in this part of the game where, you know, I don't know. I mean, I know why we're fighting with him, because it's the whole, you know, enemy of my enemy is my friend, that type of thing, because the Pale Knight is a bigger threat. But I don't know, I feel like Ivanka just came out of nowhere, especially after destroying all the taking care of all the foundations. Like, we just ruined your plan, defeated all your generals, and then you're like, oh yeah, this Pale King guy, or Pale Knight guy, yeah, he's kind of some dangerous person, we should work together. Like, why wasn't that mentioned before, you know? I don't know. I mean, I know we don't have to get every single thing that the enemy does off screen, or on screen. Like, sometimes it's just assumed that they're plotting or doing things, you know. Typical, you know, bad guy fare, you know. One of the few things I don't mind the story is doing when they have the villain scheming and stuff like that. Just, you know, it's always nice to see the villains. Whoops. Well, I mean, I'm gonna save, but I wanted to defeat these guys first before doing that. Karin, quit yelling your mystical mumbo jumbo. Just let's get through those. Let's just. I keep saying that. I don't know why. Even though I could just back up and it wouldn't be any the wiser for you viewers. But I'm being transparent, man. I'm being transparent. I'm as transparent as a ghost. Cause I'm white. No, I'm actually not that pasty, believe it or not. I mean, I'm white, but I'm not that pasty white. You know, more peach. I'm not albino. Don't have red eyes and white hair, you know, like a Tiggeri or whatever. Take care of that ghost, man. Activate your ghost touch weapons. Oh wait, we don't have anything like that in this game. Ghost touch weapons are just weapons that allow you to basically hit ghosts effectively without the mischance or whatever. Because I think even if you have a magical, see, what was it? I think in D&D, if you didn't have any magical weapons, you couldn't hurt ghosts. If you have a magical weapon, you could possibly hurt them, but they'd still have the mischance. And then if you had ghost touch weapons, you'd be able to straight up kill them. We got giant skeletons now, huh? They're getting bigger. They're growing bigger in Texas. Oh, ow! No! Stop it. We don't need ghosts. We don't need bears. Oh my. We want to defeat you. Ow. Quit trying to drain my life. Looks like the AI is targeting me now. Usually they go after them, but I don't know, I guess some enemies are relegated to attacking you because you're the biggest threat. It's like, if they do that, then what's the point of having ally companions if you can't sick the undead on them, you know? Oh, got a Bale arm. What was it, Bale armlet or whatever? Yeah. I wonder why the Pale King would leave, or Pale Knight would leave all this treasure around. You think it would have grabbed it all? Make sure some silly adventurers wouldn't come and take it all, so. So what was that one thing we got? Oh, was it? Oh, maybe it was an amulet. Let me see. I could have swore it said like something just dropped and I grabbed it. What was it? Okay, it's a Bale amulet. Eh, that's okay. Iron Will Sunder. Don't need it. So I'll just break it down. I mean, I could equip it, but I like what I've got currently. Yeah, definitely getting the giant skeletons. Interesting to note, giant skeletons are a specific enemy in D&D. I think they're as far back as 2nd edition. I mean, although giant skeletons are quite a bit more dangerous, usually, at least the version I'm remembering correctly, they have, you know, fire comes out of the skull and they can shoot fire from the center of their chest and stuff like that. And they're giant too, of course. So, you know, the bit of both bad worlds, you know. Yeah, I'm glad when I throw a knife, Viadro doesn't, you know, like say lines every other second. I don't mind people talking in games, like for, you know, for like saying what their attacks are, but don't have them do it all the time. Have them do it every once in a while, you know. Like if you have, you know, if you have a person talk every other second, it really gets old fast. Like I don't mind like when Viadra's doing the whole type of thing. That's not too bad because that's just kind of a thing that happens while she's attacking. And even then, she doesn't say it all the time, or either that or the noise blocks out her saying that because a lot of other things are going on. But yeah, don't if people can say attacks and stuff like that, make sure it only happens every once in a while. Turn off the you know, frequency of it. Because even games I liked, I got annoyed at that really fast. What was it like? Lunar, the remake for Lunar for PlayStation 1. They had to say every single attack and say their like catchphrase every single time they did something, and it was fine until we got to the end of the game, where in the remake that they did for the PlayStation, they changed it to where the enemy levels were even with you to keep challenges. So if you grinded till to beat the final boss of the game, you were gonna have a bad time, dude. Especially if you hit like level 99. Holy cow! I didn't hit level 99, but I got really high level. And that fight, I swear, took like, with the final battle with the final boss, I swear it took like 3 or 4 hours, because he had so much HP. It was ridiculous. So much HP, so much defense. It was insane. Oh. Let me beat this guy, and then we'll go back to town to sell more. Okay, let's go. Let's go recall. And go back. Yeah, not much I can really say about the boneyard. Pretty straightforward. I mean, obviously dangerous, but there's not much else to it. So.
Welcome back.
I wonder why they stopped having Bartley.
Before you approach that tower.
I wonder why they had stopped having Bartley make comments to you before you talk to him. On like when you talk to him, he makes a comment, then he shops, and then he does his generic stuff. Then at some point, they just decide to have him talk, give him lines while you're shopping, which makes more sense. But why did they just change that all of a sudden? Well, not like in Chapter 3, or actually, was it Chapter 2 when he stopped doing that? Yeah, let me look. Let's see. Then I could sell those. Skill. And we're good there. Okay, yeah, we can sell that. Oh yeah, break that down. See, a War Wizard's mace.
I'll pray for your success while you're gone, friend.
Yeah, I appreciate it, Bartley. I just have to be really, really careful. Because I've accidentally sold stuff before because I just smashed it and you can't buy back it, so, which I think is really stupid. But that's just how it is. I got a ton of healing potions though, and a bunch of awkward remains. Oh, we're starting to get those extra healing. As soon as I get quite a few of them, I might end up start selling my old.
But alas, old merchants like me shouldn't be assaulting vampire lords.
Oh yeah, you already said that. Yeah, no, you probably shouldn't be doing that, Bartley. All right, let's break that down, and then break down the Bale amulet. Not quite cover, won't quite cover the cost, but you know, I appreciate it. Looks like that's where all the weight's coming from, is from the potions. So
I can't do that here.
why did I press something else and not recall? Because she all of a sudden didn't teleport. I was like, what? Maybe I don't, and I didn't do anything different. I just did it again and left. So I don't know, man. That was weird. That made me strange and crazy. Same spot like right there. Okay, let's save it again. Once again, into the Battle of the Bone. Ugh. I didn't think there was much going on here to create a frame rate issue, but okay. It's kind of weird how sometimes I'll get frame rate issues and other times I won't. Like, what else is going on? Yeah, those ghosts just pop out like a gosh darn jack-in-the-box. Trying to come out and double team your girlfriend or something like that. I think what Jarek means to say is love is blind. Halberd. Treasure, 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 all over the place. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, I'm sure really not what else to add about skeletons. I mean, skeletons are your classic, one of your classic undead monsters, and they've been around way before D&D. You know, tales of myth and legend and stuff like that. The Walking Dead, you know. My favorite incarnation of those has got to be anything with Ray Harryhausen. I think it was his name, the guy who did all that stop motion stuff. And the way he did it just made skeletons unnaturally creepy, because the way stop motion worked, at least back in the early day, you know, it wasn't a perfect fluid motion like it is in later versions of stop motion, like was it Leica? I think was the name of the company that did like a lot of stop motion stuff that try to, like, Coraline and Kubo and all that. Which those are, from what I understand, I've heard those are pretty good movies. I haven't actually watched them, but I did like from what I saw, I did like the stop animation in the trailers and stuff like that. But anyway, Ray Harryhausen, early days of stop motion, the skeletons would all like move all creepily, like, and kind of like, jiggle jangle back and forth between each other, and it just, I don't know, just was very unsettling. Which is, I think, if you saw, you know, walking skeletons, I think you would be unsettled too. So I think best example of that is I think it was called Jason and Argonauts. I forgot what year it was. Although I don't think there's really too many Jason and Argonaut movies, so, you know. So you could probably just look up Jason and the Argonauts movie and be fine. But anyway, I think that's the scene I'm recalling, where the skeletons chase the Argonauts around and attack them. You know. I kind of miss epic fantasies like that, the ones like Greek legends and stuff like that. You know, I haven't had anything like that in a while in any form of entertainment, not that I'm aware of. At least nothing that I was interested in, anyway. Then again, maybe all the good stories were told. You know, we don't have anything good left. Who knows? Man, you take a lot of beating for a skeleton, you know. And you've got no flesh to punch. Only rib cages. That would hurt, man. Have you ever punched someone in the ribs before? I haven't, but I've heard people have. And they say it's not pleasant. It can hurt your hands. Right under it. And this would be much easier if I could stun you. You know it would be. Oh. was like, why am I hitting him? Or hitting that thing? I was like, oh, I was just a little bit off. Man, skeleton's everywhere, but not drops of rank. I mean, not a bone to pick. I don't know. I'm not very good with puns and everything like that, so. You know, I don't have a femur of a time on this one. I don't know. I'm just, like I said, not just good with puns in general. Quit trying to steal my life, man. It's my life. I can do what I want. And we're all living in it. Oop. I might be using all my good potions. Because usually the game will use the potion that's the most beneficial to you at the time. So if that's the high-end potion, then that's what it's going to be. That's usually why you want to sell like low-end potions. So you can... Actually, it wouldn't even let me use it. Sometimes it won't let you use potions if you're in the air. There you go. Yeah, that's usually why I try to sell like low-end potions, just because when I use potions, I want to use my, well, I mean, it's gonna use my best one. You know what I mean? I don't want to have to worry about that. And to reduce the weight and all that. I don't know why he's using a bow and arrow. Why don't you just use a rib cage and a finger or a hand or something like that, or you know, a femur to shoot at you? That'd be more memorable. By the way, you fall down like any other fleshy being, except you're a skeleton. Yeah, I almost feel like I think now that I think about it, I think Act 5 does kind of feel like it was a bit rushed overall, because we go straight to the straight towards the boss without much more fanfare than that. I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking it was because I did heard this game that had some like minor legal issues and stuff like that. And, you know, like all games, if you take too long, you've got to get out by Christmas season and all that fun stuff. Otherwise, you're not going to make your bonuses that year. Okay. Same thing happened with, what was it, Knights of the Old Republic 2. They were rushed to get that out before Christmas, so the game was, that's why the finale, or the final area of the game is just so weird. Like, just the way it's pacing and everything with that just kind of jumps all over the place. I'm like, what is going on here? And all the companions you have just separate. So all the people who've been working with throughout the whole game, if you don't, you're like, oh, you're actually not needed for the finale. I'm like, okay, except for like, what was it? I forgot the name of the girl who's the smuggler, then the guy who's the smuggler. Sorry, it's been a few years since I played Old Republic 2. I don't remember off the top of my head. But yeah, that was a bit of a mess. They've had patches on it later on that fixed that. I need to maybe not replay the whole game, but maybe like do an episode of that where I talk about the patch or something like that. I did just the Xbox version just to show off like the game and play it off and all that. And that was like years ago. I enjoyed that playthrough, but I think I wasn't very efficient at that. Like I kind of missed out on a couple of quests and did some things out of order that I wasn't really. I was like, oh man, it's one of those things after you record, you're like, oh, I kind of did this wrong, but too late now. Got to keep going. But that always happens. I always find something in a playthrough that I don't feel comfortable with, even though I've already recorded it, or I finish it. I'm like, man, I'm not happy with this, but I've already gone through the whole thing. I'm not doing it all over again. At least not right now. Yeah, I'm having to heal myself quite often now. But I can always go to Bartley and buy some more. Alright, how many more undead of you are there? Gotta hit you in the next stratosphere, man. Got that drain life, man. Most undead can drain life is usually one of the main mechanics. Man, stop hitting me. Ah, man, I got smacked a few times. Yeah, I really wish my allies would be able to take that, like, ghost out off my hand. Or I could throw a dagger in his face. Whatever. What is that noise you skeletons are making? You guys don't have tongues. You don't have cheeks or anything like that. You can't make those types of noises. The only noise you can make is what your bones do when they clatter together. Cackle, 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 or whatever. Something like that. Yeah, I guess we'll play for a little bit longer. Why not? Alright, anything there? Okay. Nope, nothing else. Let's keep going. Oh. Hey, alright. Sorry. I'm recording this a little later than I usually do, so sometimes you just can't help the yawn, man. And no, it's not because the game's boring. It's just sometimes you just, even if you're active and paying attention to all this other stuff. But anyway, let's head to the Keep of the Pale Knight. What are Nightwalkers doing here? Those things are like CR-15. Oh wait, what level do we know? Never mind. We can handle them. Yeah, Nightwalkers are very dangerous undead. They're like, I think they're like actually I think they're CR like 18 or something like that. They're like supposed to be, actually this might not be the Nightwalker. I think Nightwalkers are supposed to be giant size. But still, it's like a night sentinel or something like that. But anyway, they're really dangerous just because of like just how much damage they can do, you know, be able to move through the shadows, sneak attack you from behind, all this other stuff. But in this case, I guess it's just the one, and he's about the same size as us, so I guess we can handle him. But yeah, he's waiting for us, but we gotta beat all these undead first. Yeah, I keep saying Suja or whatever you say, dude. Yeah, I don't want to fight that Nightwalker thing. Let's go over here. Oh, nothing. All right, gotta fight you. Are we gonna throw down, or you gotta keep throwing your skeletal minions at me? Although I don't think the Nightwalker has any doesn't care if I get there or not.
I can't carry another thing.
Oh yeah, I can't recall from there. I wonder if I can actually leave, or if I have to actually encounter him right now. Let's find out. I don't remember. Nope, we have to finish him off. Okay. Just making sure. We can always sell stuff later. Okay, so gotta remember there's a sword there, so. Yep, there it is, the Nightwalker. Ah, it stunned me. No! Cheapness! Cheapness! Yeah, the Nightwalker is a pretty cheap enemy. Alright, but hey, luckily we have Karn and Jarek with them, with us to help. So make sure to always stay next to the guy, obviously, because of the because otherwise he'll do that stun ability of his and poison you. Or actually, I don't know if it's really poison per se. Luckily, this guy isn't as well. I mean, this guy should be really bad because, like I said, D&D is a really hard CR. It's one of those where you need a full party to beat type of thing because of all the abilities he can do. Although he's not really taking advantage of what he can do, because usually he can, like I said, hide in the shadows. I think one of his big things is he can crush your weapons and destroy it in the game. Well, he can't do it in this game. What I mean is D&D. He has the ability to just destroy any magical weapon. I think he also radiates a cold aura too that's supposed to hurt you. But they kind of just use the look of the Nightwalker without actually like using all of his abilities. Because the Nightwalker is a cool monster. Very dangerous. But yeah, with Jarek and Karn on your side, he falls like any other creature. Yep, and he's dead. Didn't even get to hear the epic music.
I'm carrying too much as it is.
Well, he's not for very long anyway. I think all the undead disappear as soon as he dies. Can I recall now? Yeah, I can. Okay. All right, so there's the armor there and whatnot. So, all right. Well, it looks like we've taken care of the Nightwalker and all the bones around. But what awaits us inside the Pale King's fortress? Will we find what we're looking for, defeat the Pale Knight, or will we find some unlikely allies inside? Find out next time in the next episode of Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance 2. Thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.